Hi, welcome to our first lesson of our first unit. This whole unit 0 is all review, so we're going to start with some really basic review, which is just slopes and lines and doing stuff on our calculator. So we're going to start out really simple, back to junior high, slope. Rise over run, change in y over change in x. We're going to do it graphically and algebraically. So, first off, if we're looking at a graph, rise over run, easiest way to do that is just take 2 points, make a right triangle out of them. In this case, our rise is actually a fall, -4, and we run 3, so that means our slope is -4/3. Let's try number 2. Once again, rise over run, change in y over change in x. So let's start by doing this one as our first point, and this one as our second point. So change in y's would be y2 minus y1, so 2 minus 0, all over x2 minus x1, 4 minus -2. Simplify that. 2 negatives make a positive. 2 over 6 simplified, you get 1/3. Now, just to show you real quick that this also works the other way, let's say I switch it, and that's my second point, and that's my first point. So now y2 is 0, y1 is 2, x2 is -2, and x1 is 4. If I simplify this, I get -2 over -6, simplified, voila. Same thing, 1/3. Okay, go ahead and pause the video. Try 3 and 4 on your own. Welcome back. Hopefully you tried number 3 and 4. So let's look at this really quickly. So for number 3, when we solve it out, we get our slope is 0. Quick note and review, aka that's your horizontal line graph, aka that's your y equals equation. For number 4, we get 3 divided by 0. Don't divide by 0. Bad news, just don't do it. So our slope is undefined. Quick review, that means your vertical line graph or your x equals equation. Okay, let's do this one. Parallel lines have same slope. Perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. Hopefully you remember that from junior high. And we have a couple different forms of linear equations that we talk about. Point slope form is probably the easiest, but for this class we'll be doing mostly slope intercept. That's what I'll have you do on most of your assignments. You also have general form. Couple quick notes about general form. Your numbers in general form, not your variables, your numbers must be integers, aka must be whole numbers. You cannot have fractions when you are doing general form. Also, your x variable must be first, not y. And the last one is a general rule. Not everyone does this, but like 90% of the time, this is probably just a safe bet. Your coefficient in front of the x should be positive. So the number or coefficient in front of x is positive, not negative. One other one I do want to have you write in here is standard form. Very similar to general form. The only difference is that c is on the other side of the equation. All the rules still apply. No fractions. X goes first. Should be positive. All that stuff. Okay, let's try out number 5. An equation goes through the point 2, 3 with the slope m equals -3. Now, this does not tell us what form this equation should be in. So just to show you real quick, I'm going to go through all of them. Point slope is the easiest. We have a point, we have a slope. We have y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. So simplify, not yet. Don't need to simplify. That's it for point slope. We're good. Simplify it would be our slope-intercept form. So y minus 3, negative 3x plus 6. Add our 3 over. So we get y equals negative 3x plus 9. That would be our slope-intercept. Next, we have our general. Now remember, there's a lot of rules we need to follow on this one. So first off, double check, do we have any fractions? Nope, we don't. We're good there. So we're just going to take everything to one side of the equation. And don't forget, your x needs to go first, and it needs to be positive. So we're going to do 3x plus y minus 9 equals 0. Double check all our rules. No fractions, check. X goes first, check. X is positive, check. And last one, standard. The only difference is that we are going to take our negative 9 over to the other side. So we have 3x plus y equals 9. And there's our standard. So go ahead, pause the video, and try out number 6 on your own. Okay, number 6. Vertical line through negative 1, 2. That would be our slope is undefined. If it's vertical, it's undefined, which would be our x equals equations. So we just grab that x coordinate from the point, and so it'll be x equals negative 1. I did want to make a note real quick. Let's say this problem had asked for a horizontal line through that same point, through negative 1, 2. This would be our slope is 0, which would be a y equals equation. So in this case, just grab the y coordinate and we get y equals 2. And now we're good. Let's try number 7. Line through this parallel to this equation, and we want everything to be in slope-intercept form. So let's just start off by getting our equation in slope-intercept to start. So we have 2x minus 5y equals 5. Solve this for y. Negative 5y equals negative 2x plus 5. Divide by negative 5. Y equals 2/5 x minus 1. Now for this particular problem, we want parallel. So that means your slope is going to stay the same. So I'm going to start with point slope. That's the easiest. So y minus y1 equals our slope. X minus x1, 2 negatives make a positive. But the question didn't ask for point slope form, it asked for slope intercept form. So I'm going to simplify this now to get my slope intercept form. And we get y equals 2/5 x. However, you add those fractions, should end up with 12/5, or I believe that's 2.4. So, there you go. Go ahead, pause the video, try out number 8 on your own, and be careful of reading the directions. Okay, number 8. Same equation, so I just borrowed our slope-intercept from the first one, 2/5 x minus 1, but this time we want perpendicular, so we want opposite reciprocal, which means our slope is going to be negative 5/2. Put it into point slope form again. I simplified the slope-intercept first, but this equation specifically asked for general form. So first thing, no fractions. Easiest way to get rid of all the fractions is multiply by the least common multiple of the denominator. So if I look at the denominators, they're both 2. Least common multiple between them is 2. So I multiply everything in the equation by 2. Gets rid of all my fractions. Sweet. So I have 2y equals negative 5x minus 1. Second part for general form, bring everything over to the one side. So I did that. So I got 5x plus 2y plus 1 equals 0. Let's double check for general form. No fractions. Check. X is first. Check. X is positive. Check. So we are good to go. Okay. 9 and 10. draw a graph of each line. Easiest way to draw graphs is through slope-intercept form. So I'm just going to start by putting this into slope-intercept form. 3y equals negative 2x plus 9. So y equals negative 2/3 x plus 3. So our y-intercept is 3. Or, just so you know, usually try to write intercepts as coordinate points. So 0, 3. And our slope is negative 2/3. So fall 2 over 3. And we connect the dots. And there we go. Okay, pause the video. Try number 10. Okay, here you go. Y equals 2. This is y equals, aka our slope is 0, aka this is a horizontal line. So I just go up to 2, draw a horizontal line straight across, and we're good. Okay, in the next video, we're going to go through some calculator examples. Make sure you have your graphing calculator out, either one that you bought or you should all have one on your Chromebook as well.